as far as poetry helped me really see myself in a different light. I was born with cerebral palsy, and so growing up, you see people doing all kinds of stuff, that you're not really, basketball, football, and all that kind of stuff. And what I really try to relate to people, because they're really not getting it. This is the gift of movement, being able to move your body, period. Bending, standing, running, jumping, sitting, walking, making a fist, raising your arm, raising your leg, laying down. The simplest things are taken for granted because even though, no matter how severe or how mild it is, these are odd things that we deal with. Our body is trembling and spazzing and hurting. These are conditions of someone who would be, presumably elderly. But cerebral palsy just takes on that whole narrative, even in a young person. And so poetry became my vice to have something because I wasn't, in high school, I wasn't as tightened up as I should have been, especially in the finishing years. But I did make it out, Hutch Tech, class of 2010. But after that, it got, confusing because, of course, everyone puts the emphasis on college and employment, which are fine, but some of us, we want to do those things because we say it's the right time, not because society says this is what we have to do. And poetry made me love myself because for a while I was walking around just not happy with myself. I wasn't having no goals, no inspiration, no perspective, no really much of anything. And when I started performing, I did my first open mic in 2012, and I was nervous. I read my poem, but I was nervous. My legs were shaking, but I had such a great time because I used to watch the Jam Poetry series, and it was basically a simple moment like, yeah, I can do that. You know what I mean? I liked the energy of it, the feel of it, and I can do those two things. At the time, it was like, I can do those two things. I can talk and I can be emotional and I can drive it home. And I really want to stand up, not for me, but for everyone who is quote unquote disabled. Just be their voice because there's a lot of people who are bullied and picked on or just plain, so many things are difficult. You know what I mean? That other people would see as complaints, but really so many things are. Having a job, having a family, having a wife, getting married. It's not just financial stuff. It's having things like love. We think it won't come to us because of our physical appearance, and that hurts to think about. So I want to stand up for everyone who's under that mantle, and maybe someone will see me on television performing at an event, or stage, or he has CP and he can do it. And so maybe that'll inspire them to be a musician or an artist. I basically want to tell our stories because everyone has these hashtags about the lives that matter. And I think among the top of those are, disabled lives, those of us with quote-unquote disabilities. And honestly, whether you're impaired physically or mentally, we have the stronger spirits and the more open minds, but it's harder to use that in a world that values so much from a physical, superficial standpoint. So spoken word is the tool that I use. It's kind of like Professor Xavier, bound physically, but mentally I'm worried, so that's my story.
Oh, beautiful, bro. Beautiful, Tyrone. I'm calling it this ability, THIS ability. This ability that you have to touch, move, and inspire is phenomenal. It is a true gift, and I want you to continue to use that gift and share that. As I told you before, you always have a place here, brother. Your voice is always welcome to be heard, and anytime